On the 10th of August 1519, Magellan left here in Seville, Spain, to become the first person to circumnavigate the world. However, he didn't make it. One ship out of 5 only made it all the way round, and he was left dead on a beach in the Philippines. But how does his name go along with this title if he didn't even make it? This is how Magellan became famous for something he didn't even achieve. During early parts of the journey, Magellan had a massive power struggle with his second in command, Juan de Cartagena. He was a Spanish nobleman. Magellan was forced to arrest Juan and demote him. This wasn't a good start to the journey, and this was just the start of his troubles. After a long trip across the Atlantic, they finally reached Brazil, and a Venetian nobleman noted in his diary the people who they encountered. As they continued down the coast of South America, they were looking for an opening on their starboard side to pass through into the Pacific Ocean, and as they were surrounded by the icy waters of Patagonia, the other ships started a mutiny. Magellan dealt with this by executing the other captains. Just before they entered the most dangerous section of the journey, another ship, the San Antonio, deserted the rest of them. Magellan intended to navigate round the bottom of South America, and no European has ever tried that before. That is because of the icy cold waters and the unpredictability of the weather. On November the 28th, 1520, Magellan and his crew became the first Europeans to navigate from the Atlantic to the Pacific, through which is now called the Magellan Strait. Magellan thought the Malayan island lay to the west, so they set off in that direction. The journey must have been excruciating. Hunger and disease ravished the crew. One of the crew recalls eating sawdust and biscuit powder. However, little did they know how long it would actually take. After 3 months at sea, they finally reached the Mariana Islands. They restocked the ships and continued west, reaching what is the modern-day Philippines. The crew celebrated en masse on the island of Limasawa, and then they went over to convert the locals into Christianity. The nearby island of Mactan refused to bow down to the Spanish. On April 25th, 1521, Magellan led a crew of 60 men over to the island in the name to reclaim it for Spain. The Mactan's leader, Lapu-Lapu, was a fierce warrior, and a vicious battle broke out, according to one of the men. The Spanish retreated, and Magellan was left on the beach to die, just like his dreams to circumnavigate the world. There was one ship left, and it made it back to Seville 10 months later. Only 18 survived the first circumnavigation of the world. Despite not completing the journey, Magellan's name lives on as the person who navigated this route despite dying on a beach in the Philippines. It wasn't because of him, it was because of the other people of the crew journaling, navigating and mapping the route they took to open up the world to Europeans. Magellan's voyage may have been fatal for him, but it showed the Europeans the scale of the world. They went out in search of spice, but came back with the world.